Hi friends and welcome back. It's Miss Birgit again. And this week we are talking about the emotion of feeling conflicted. Now conflicted is actually an emotional state that's pretty common. It's when we're experiencing more than one emotion. And it can make things feel complicated, kind of messy, sometimes a little confusing. For example, we might be looking forward to something new that's going to happen, and so we're excited, but also a little nervous because we're not exactly sure how it's going to go. Or maybe something happens and we're feeling sad about it, but also angry or upset or hurt. Feeling conflicted is something that comes up in relationships with other people, in experiences we have. And the book I'm going to share with you today, I think, is a beautiful example of this feeling of feeling conflicted. It's about a relationship between a grandfather and his grandson and how it changes over time as the grandfather ages. And the grandson needs to figure out how to manage his emotions as the relationship changes. And this is something that many of us have experienced when we have older people in our lives as they age. So I hope you enjoy this book. I think it's beautifully done. The book is called The Remember Balloons. And it's written by Jessie Oliveros, and it's illustrated by Dana Wulfekotte. Hoping I'm saying those names correctly. It's just a beautiful book. Enjoy. The Remember Balloons. I have lots and lots of balloons. Way more than my little brother. This one's my favorite, I tell him, pointing to the balloon filled with my last birthday party. When I look at it, I can see the pony again. I can still taste the chocolate frosting. Mom and Dad have more balloons than I do. Grandpa has lived so long, he has more balloons than all of us together. And the stories he has inside those balloons, they're better than ponies and chocolate frosting. What's in your yellow balloon? I ask him. Grandpa's eyes light up. We'd just come back from picking blackberries along the muddy banks of the creek. Our berry splatters' faces gave Aunt Nell's cow such a fright. She didn't make milk for days. What about that blue one, Grandpa? That's the time I lost my favorite dog, Jack. Grandpa chuckles. I found him chasing butterflies next to the schoolhouse. Only Jack could get me to go to school on a Saturday. And that one, I point to a purple balloon above his head. Grandpa looks up and smiles, his face alive with remembering. That's the day I married your grandma in the little church on Cedar Lane. We danced that night under the stars, and oh, how I loved her. I don't have to ask him about the silver balloon because I have one too. That was the day we stood on the dock till the sun went down, feeling tug after tug on our lines. Grandpa and I must have caught 1,000 fish. Grandpa ruffles my hair like he always does. That's one of my favorite balloons. Mine too, I say. But Grandpa has been having problems with his balloons lately. One will get caught in a tree, and he'll tell me the same story over and over. Let me tell you about the Christmas I went to Aunt Nell's farm, Grandpa says, even though he just finished telling me about it. Other times, a balloon will float right out of his hand, and he won't even know it. It's okay, Grandpa, I yell as I run after it. Every time I almost reach it, but it always slips away. Something's wrong with Grandpa, I tell my parents. He can't hold on to his balloons anymore. Mom looks at me with sad eyes. That happens sometimes when people grow older. Grandpa's balloons start floating away faster and faster. Running down streets and up hills, I watch the balloons grow smaller. He finally loses the silver one. I watch it float away until I can't see it anymore. Why did you let it go? I yelled. That was our balloon. Then I sit on the sidewalk and cry. I feel Grandpa pat my back, but he doesn't ruffle my hair like he always did. Why are you crying, child? There's nothing to cry about. One day, I go to see him, and all his balloons are gone. Grandpa, I say, but he doesn't look at me. It'll be okay, Dad says. Look up. I have new balloons now. A yellow one filled with blackberries and a cow. A blue one filled with Grandpa and his favorite dog. A purple one filled with a wedding day. See, Mom says, Now they're yours to share. So I climb into Grandpa's lap and begin telling him about my new balloons. And that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it. And maybe you can relate. This feeling of feeling conflicted, definitely a yellow zone emotion, because it can be really uncomfortable when we're wrestling with a mixed group of feelings that don't feel like they should go together. You want it to be cleaner than that, less messy. But life is full of mess, right? And so figuring out a way to be able to be okay with the conflict, okay with those mixed emotions is important. And with that, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And until next time, take care.